Hey, all right, guys. I ended up the week here. Okay, so I'm gonna go through a couple of names. All right, Friday the 13th, we made it through. Um, I'm gonna go through just two time frames. That's it. I'm just gonna go through two time frames, and I'm just gonna rattle through some stuff, and we'll finish it up. All right. I want to get pizza. And I had a one of my son's best friends. He fell down some stairs, and he went into a coma. Now I known this kid for since he was 5 or 6 years old, and it's been a very very rough time. Um, but he's coming back, and he's going to be going back into rehabilitation. He's got a long road to hoe. Um, my son was with him when it happened, so it was kind of close to the family here. So throw out some prayers. This kid Ethan, but he's back. He's actually talking. He's this has been over a month and a half now since this happened, and he's going to be going into rehab. So, all right, put up some prayers for Ethan, man. The kid's doing good. All right, he's making a comeback. I'd say that was my son. Just called me, had me tearing up in the phone. Coach these kids in baseball and everything throughout all the years, and this was close to my heart, and to see him coming back is huge. It's just absolutely huge. All right, still going to be a long road to go, but that's what we got. All right, so here we talk about SPY. All right, there's your month, all right, guys. All right, you see our next magnitude to the downside, 650.41. All right, 650.41. All right, so we'll see if we get continuation to the downside. We're 222 down now on the week. All right, this is three weaker coming down, and that's coming from the last week of February. All right, that was the last week of February. The last week of February, first in, and there we go, 2 months down. All right, so down here on the monthly. Okay, now if things start to reverse again, it's going to show up in dailies. Okay, so we'll wait and see. I'm not going to even show what he days right now. Okay, all right, so this is going to rattle through them, and just I want you to get a look at them. All right, that's really all I want you to do. All right, so Q's broke our 597, by the way, back down to 593, 591.60, 591.36 to the downside. Nice shooter coming down here. As you can see, we still have a lot of green in there. All right. So we still have some continuity in there. All right. So we're a little vulnerable here on the Qs. And I think that's probably why, is because the lag 7 has already been down for 2 months. All right. So we know that especially the AI stocks, we know that Nvidia is down. We know that Google broke down below 300. We know all these things. We already knew all this was so. If there is some kind of reversal that starts to occur, I think it would come from tech. Okay, and then we would look to the diamonds. All right, and we see what goes from there. All right, so that's why I say you still got some continuity in here, but hoping to get some more down here. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, here we're 2 month down, pretty solid, looking pretty good here, looking to make that move to the downside. All right, triple Qs. All right, diamonds. See, diamonds doesn't have that. Okay, we don't have any of that. We don't have any of that here. We do have this here, came off of here, but that shooter back down. All right, so 2 down on diamonds. We look at our next stop and we're coming down here. I could probably go to here and say 464.93, and then we break down to here, guys, at 461.01 if we want to get continuation to the downside. All right. So, and then if things start to pop in on the week and we start to get some green inside, so maybe we firm up. All right. So we're going to be real tight with this one. All right. So diamonds 222 down, SPY down. All right. Weeks are down. All right, we got a lot going on here now, so we wait to see if any of these can go into force. All right, and the months may look like they already are into force. We'll see what these weeks want to do now, if they want to complement. And again, I was talking earlier today about these shooters. It plays out in your short term movements too. When we see during the like I said, 30s and 15s, right? They're just like traffic stops, make you stop, make you go here, make you go there. You can get chopped up trading in that. That's why I'm trying to lay out a bigger picture here, as opposed to there's a lot of ninjas that can go in there and pick these things off and make money doing it. Not everybody can do that. All right. I think once you get the bigger picture, then I think it's going to be easier for you to navigate in those shorter time frames. Okay. And you got to know where are you at? Where is the big move? We know where the big move is right now. Okay. It's starting to show itself here. All right. Now, again, I'm a little bearish, but I don't want to get too overwhelmed, okay? All right, so now we'll talk about those stocks that we talked here, right? All right, Emerson. All right, Emerson finishes with the two down on the month. Our next target is here, okay? Didn't go to Emerson, did it? All right, EMR. All right, Emerson on your Dow, okay? Now, after I do the Dow, okay, then I'm going to start looking at the discretionaries, because I think that when things do turn around, I think that probably industrials and the discretionaries, I think, could be the two that start to move back up. Energy is still like artificially growing here, right? So we'll see what happens. Crude had another big day again today, and it was down this morning too, so move there too, right? 2-2 down, looking for the move to the downside. Right now, we would looking at 130.42. All right, we're going to keep our targets small right now, all right, and we're just going to look at our magnitudes as we walk down, all right? So that would be 130.47 coming back down. Traded close at 131.80 right now, trading a little bit lower there too. All right, so Emerson down. Union Pacific is down. All right, you got the month. You haven't even broke the month one, so there's a little less exhaustion risk here. All right, so this one's still inside here. It's just going to be hard enough. I mean, the first thing that this thing needs to do is it needs to triangle out the month, all right? And that's to get back down to the low of that right now would be 240.59. There's only $2 and change, but we got to hit that. That's our magnitude right now. That's our first magnitude. We got to get there, and then we see if we can get somewhere in this area and then see if we can break that down, all right? So this one was the two. This one, the 2 failed, and then the 2-2 down with but you got the 3-2, so you know what it is. It's the 3-2-2 back down. All right, so Union Pacific, let's see if anything happens with that. Norfolk Southern, same thing down here. You got almost identical because they're both kind of the same. All right, so 2 went up, failed, and then you got the 3-2 down. Got to button this up and take this 2-2 down on Norfolk Southern. All right, that would be our move there. For here, our magnitude would be there, breaking that month. Okay, see if we can do that. All right, CSX I think was one of the ones we had. CSX is another one. See, these are a little better still because they have not broke the month. All right, the futures have. All right, but these stocks have not. All right, so 3-2 down. We like the 3 because we know that it's giving us the to keep it going. All right, so we'll look for that to break here, and then we want to try to take out this, and then we see if we start to move down from there. Central South Railway. All right, RAIL. I know that one was rails. This thing's a piece of junk. But I just like the way I like that week. This is a huge mother bar of all kinds. All right, so stuck inside here with everything. This thing going back down to 7.25, possibly. All right, but taking all that out, so now it has to take this up. See, as you take out time frames like this, especially on monthlies, exhaustion risk starts to happen. All right, so until we get to an area where there is no more, then it's still there, but we're moving. Okay, so but we won't have anything to gauge. All right, so rail, there you go. Triple M. All right, Triple M is good because it took the 3-2 down today. This week, kind of stuck in the middle. All right, so stuck in the middle means indecision. That's not telling us anything. Is it bearish? Yeah, it's month down. Okay, it's 2-1-2 week, 2-1-2 week down. Okay, but indecision here, so anything could happen with that one. All right, and that thing was up $1.86 today. That's what caused that to get back up into that middle. All right, so Triple M, we'll see what happens there. I think Honeywell is one of the ones we had in there too. Honeywell, shooter down. This one is still holding up pretty well. You got a lot of time frame continuity here. All right, this is going to be harder to break for sure. All right, so we do have the 3-2 down, but this thing is, this one's indecision as well, but it's still a little bullish. But you got this, the sellers are in the month. All right, now there has been some lifting, so watch out for that one. I want ones to be a little bit difficult. All right, that one is a little difficult. That one could turn around. All right, then we looked at the airlines. United Airlines, I'm going to speed this up now. All right, 2-1-2 down on the month. All right, Pukin coming down good. Next magnitude, 82.57 to the downside. All right, the 2-1-2-2-2 back down. All right, so going to have to triangle out that month. That week. All right, but the week is closed now, so we're going to be coming in somewhere. Probably more likely we're going to be inside here somewhere. All right, so this one is the 2-1-2 down on United Airlines, still down. All right, AAL, American Airlines, same there. American Airlines took out a lot here now with the 3-2-2. This thing has already done a lot of damage. All right, there's a lot more exhaustion risk on this one now. All right, look at this. We got the 2-2-2-2. All right, 4 straight weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight weeks of selling. All right, and going out on the low of the week this week. All right, so again, probably a little bit more exhaustion risk here. All right, but we'll see. This has been a nice move to the downside on American Airlines. That thing has already been getting killed. All right, and then we'll look at Delta. All right, Delta got positive today. All right, so you got the 2-2. This shooter came down. That forced this hand down. Buyers have been stepping in here. Okay, you can see on the continuity as well. All right, so we had some buyers in here for the week now, and now we wait to see if that can firm up. All right, that one's the one to keep an eye on it. See if we can get that continuation see if we can get that to break back down. All right, and then we look at that Jets, Jets. All right, Jets. Here's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 straight weeks of puking. All right, so you got the puker with the 2-1-2 down. Then you get the gap down puker and you get down all the way here to 23.82. I think there's good support level at $23. We'll wait and see if anything happens there. All right, we closed at $24 for the most part, 24 bucks and a nickel. All right, so that's the group that we've been talking about, and I will start talking about a different. We'll look at some different stocks here in the next week, and we'll look and see where things start to set up. All right, things, believe it or not, things happen pretty fast. All right, but now we'll wait and see if the futures can start doing their job. All right, they got one job to do: puke. All right, so that's what we're looking for. We'll wait for continuation to the downside. Boeing had a nice day, but it kind of crapped out at the end of the day. Not too much really else, guys. Everything's chopping up right now. The futures have been really heavy today. They tried to get going. We had that nice move in the morning, and I put that up there on this morning. Said, little run, sheep, run. I hope if anybody read that this morning on Twitter, I made it very clear that there was going to be a move to the upside, and we're probably going to run into exhaustion risk, and that's exactly what happened. All right, so they broke. It came back down. And then they tried to rally today, but they really couldn't do it. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. God bless. All right, be good.